Our names are Jaleesa, Jasmine, Tara, and Amy. We are Mercy College Occupational Therapy graduate students. And earlier this year, we had an amazing opportunity to participate in Medical Mission Ecuador as our capstone project. Medical Mission Ecuador is a nonprofit organization that was started by Doctors Henry and Luis Vascones and their sister Beatrice, who are plastic surgeons. In collaboration with the local Ambato Rotary Club, volunteers from other parts of Ecuador and the United States travel to Ambato to provide free healthcare services for 1 week in a local clinic. As OT students, we knew we needed to prepare in order to be valuable members of this multidisciplinary team of PTs, surgeons, orthopedists, and seasoned occupational therapists. Using the PEO model, we knew that in order to help the children achieve optimal occupational performance, there had to be a good fit between person, environment, and occupation itself. So in preparing for the mission, we place a heavy emphasis on how these three components may interact differently in Ecuador versus here in the United States. We wanted to ensure that we provided culturally competent care. With the mentorship of Sandra Duarte, we researched Ecuadorian culture, their healthcare system, and commonly held beliefs. Ecuador has a free healthcare system, but clinics are scarce in many rural areas. For many Ecuadorians, accessing healthcare services is difficult. Ambato is a region that's most in need, and for many of the families, MME's annual visit is a lifeline. Another fact we learned is that occupational therapists are virtually non-existent in Ecuador, and that we would play a significant role in educating others on the value of occupation. Each year, MME volunteers bring suitcases of supplies. We did our part by collecting sneakers and stuffed animals and wrote to companies such as Chewy Tube and McKee Splinting, who donated supplies. In collaboration with Mercy College Library, we created adaptive devices such as a built-up utensil holder for feeding and oral hygiene, and an adaptive pencil grip using a 3D printer. The 3D printed adaptive devices were a success. Many of the children and families were excited to see how they could perform ADLs with increased independence. Because aspiration and failures to thrive is prevalent amongst children with CP, we focused on feeding. We created handouts for oral motor exercises and positioning for high and low muscle tone. We made sure to translate the information into Spanish and include pictures that explain the text for parents who were unable to read. While we were there, we treated over 100 children, varying from the ages of 6 months to 18 years. Diagnoses included cerebral palsy, congenital deformities, cortical blindness, spina bifida, and Down syndrome. Although we had to work quickly, we were able to establish rapport with each family and provide client-centered care. We gathered information that would address all aspects of the child, such as their typical environments, routines, and habits, as well as which activities were most meaningful to them and fit the needs of their families. We had to ensure interventions would be durable and that anything we made would fit the child for at least a year. We also needed to be resourceful when working with limited materials. For example, when we began to run out of splinting materials, we modified previously fabricated splints and worked with the local seamstress to replicate Bennick splints. Many of the children were unable to be fitted for wheelchairs. Therefore, the next best option was a stroller. However, not all the strollers supported a functional position, especially for those children diagnosed with spina bifida and cerebral palsy. So we used Tri-Wall to create supportive stroller backs, seats, and lap trays that encourage and facilitated good posture needed for functional activities such as eating and playing. Based on our experience, here are 3 recommendations for OT students who want to participate in a medical mission. 1. Self-reflect on daily encounters by keeping a journal. This will increase your self-awareness of potential bias you may have. It will also allow you to see what you can do better the next day. 2. Research the country's culture, values, and belief systems, but also remember that diversity exists within any country. So do not assume that every person you interact with will be the same. 3. Remain client-centered and true to the principles of OT, even if the country you are volunteering in focuses on impairment. 4. Hone your ability to take occupational profiles quickly. Medical missions are a fast-paced environment where you must collect information and establish rapport within a limited amount of time. 5. Brainstorm on ways to be creative when having limited supplies. Being able to be flexible and think on your feet will be useful. 6. When working with translators, use simple, short sentences. And remember, Look at your client when you're speaking. This will help establish rapport by using nonverbal body language. Overall, we not only learn how to self-reflect and provide culturally competent care, but gained clinical experience, made many new friends and mentors, and learned what we were capable of. We want to take this time to thank everyone who helped us in making our participation meaningful. Thanks to Eddie and Tess from Mercy College Library for helping us create awesome 3D printed adaptive equipment. Thank you to Bill Fenderson, who adopted us into the MME-OT team with open arms. And thank you to Cheryl Colangelo, who inspired us and gave us the skills to actually build durable, customized adaptations using cardboard. Thank you to Dr. Lori Olson for organizing us, advocating for resources, and always helping us see the bigger picture. And a very special thanks to Sandra Duarte, who met and communicated with us countless times in order to prepare us clinically, ethically, and emotionally for this mission. Because of you, we have each begun our journeys towards being global citizens of the world and more competent occupational therapy students. In the words of Winston Churchill, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give.